So what the heck is art licensing? Art licensing is basically when you get to rent out your artwork to a company to put on products, just like this fabric here. So all of the designs you see on this fabric here are actually my artwork. I own the copyright and the company basically just rents it and sells fabric with it. Art licensing can be a bit confusing because there are so many different ways you can negotiate a contract and each one can be different, but let's go over some of the basics that at least I've experienced so far. So the first one is, how do you get paid? Generally speaking, you're going to earn a royalty on sales. So whatever sells of this fabric, I get a certain percentage of those sales. So if it sells really well, I'll get more money. If it doesn't sell well, I won't. Sometimes artists can also be paid by a flat fee, even if they are licensing their artwork. Remember, licensing basically means the same thing as renting. Situations where it would be good to have a flat fee is if you need the money up front or if it is a smaller company without a proven track record of sales. So if it's a startup or a newer company, or if they don't have a proven track record of sales, you don't want to do a royalty, because what if the business sucks and you did all this work for them and you don't get paid for it, and those sales are not a result of you being a bad designer, but of the business strategy that, you know, the company has. Getting paid through a flat fee is just a good way to ensure that you're definitely getting paid for the good work that you're doing, regardless of the type of sales that that business may make. Now, the flip side of that is that what if it is a bestseller and goes crazy with sales, then you already got paid a flat fee, so you could be missing out some of the sales by not being paid through a royalty system. However, if they don't have a proven track record of sales, I would recommend doing a flat fee. Other terms being discussed when you are, deciding to license out your artwork to a company is going to be the number of years, or the time period that you're going to be renting out your artwork to that company. So another thing to consider when you are licensing or renting out your artwork to a company is going to be the amount of time you're licensing it to them for, and also the exclusivity. So a lot of companies will want something like 1 to 2 years of exclusivity, and then they may continue to sell it, but they're not going to maintain exclusivity in that category from there on out. So that means if I license out these designs to a fabric company, I cannot license them out to another fabric company for at least 1 to 2 years, depending on what the contract is. However, I can license these designs to another category. So if I wanted to put any of these designs on something like stationery or, an unrelated category, I can still do that. So you can license your work in multiple product categories in order to get the most bang for your buck and to get the most out of the designs you've created. If you are a fine artist, you may want to license out your art to companies on wall art or giclée prints. If you are an illustrator or a surface pattern designer, you can work in gift and stationery industries, you can work in fabric design or textile design. You can also do editorial illustrations or illustrate children's books or other kinds of literature. The list really does go on. So there's so many different ways you can license your work as an artist, but basically the core principle is that you are renting out your artwork, but you own the copyright. You can rent it out over and over and over again, as many years as you still own the copyright, which makes it a really great source of passive income. I will say that licensing is not the easiest thing to get into. It has been really difficult for me to kind of break into the industry, but I did it and I'm super proud of myself for doing it. And I think it's really rewarding to know that you've kept the copyright to your work and you've kind of put yourself out there in your own style and your own sort of expression of your own creativity. So one thing to note about licensing is that you don't get paid right away. And so that's a definitely important thing to note when you're starting out in licensing, is that, I designed this fabric back in, and it just now was launched with the manufacturer, in October of 2021, and it won't start selling until January, or it won't start shipping, I should say, until January. You can technically order it now, but it's not going to be in stores or shipping until January. So I had to wait quite a long time to see any revenue from this design work that I did quite a while ago. Now, once you get the ball rolling and you have several licensing deals in place, and you can also supplement with maybe freelance work or teaching or something else, then, it can become a very viable part part of your design business. But it is a difficult industry to break into because you have to do all of the work up front and you don't get paid for it right away. So it's difficult to break into, but it is definitely worth it and very rewarding. So I hope that helps you understand the whole world of licensing a little bit better from an artist perspective. And I wish you the best of luck and the utmost success in your career. You can find me over on Instagram at Lauren Leslie Studio, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. Also, check out the links down below in the description if you want to find out more or see some goodies for me. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!